Have you ever tasted chicharon? Opo, hindi po, maybe, baka. Hi, I'm Christine. Welcome to my channel, Learn to Speak Filipino for Tourists and Expats. I love chicharon. Have you ever tasted chicharon? Okay. Chicharon is pork rind or pork crackling. It is crispy. That's why we love it. That's why we Filipinos love it, because it's crispy or malutong. Okay? Can you say that for me? Malutong. Okay? Chicharon is malutong, crispy. That's one of the Filipino favorites. No? You can eat it alone. Okay, just like eating potato chips. Okay, so for Filipinos, we eat chicharon on its own, just like chips. Okay, we dip it into suka vinegar with chili or sile. So malutong, we love the sound and we love the texture that is crispy. Okay, we are sad if the chicharon is not malutong. Okay, not malutong is called bakuna. It's robbery. Okay, so if it's robbery, that defeats the purpose of binging on a big pack of chicharon if it's not malutong, or you say hindi malutong, not malutong is makunat. So what's the texture of makunat? You like to drink pearls, boba, pearls, milk tea with pearls. The texture of the pearl, in Filipino we call that sago. Okay, the texture of the pearl is rubbery or makunat. You're familiar with nata de coco. This is the square jellies made out of coconut. That is also part of the milk tea when you buy. They let you choose if it's sago, boba, or tapioca, or nata de coco, which is the coconut jelly. The shape is square, no? And it's kind of rubbery. Okay, moving on to the next one. Lot of foreigners, or at least those that I know, remark that Pinoy food or Filipino dishes are generally mamantika. Okay? Mamantika. Well, chicharon is mamantika because mantika is oil and chicharon is fried in a lot of oil. Okay, so generally, a lot of foreigners, or at least whom I know, as mentioned, they find Filipino food mamantika. Mantika is grease or oil. Okay, so our Pinoy dishes or Filipino dishes are fried or sauteed. And if they're fried, Prito, maybe you should watch that video about the ways we cook food, or the vocabulary about the ways we cook Filipino food. Okay, so you say Prito is fried, so there's a lot of mantika. Mantika is oil or cooking oil. So there are a lot of Filipino dishes that are considered mamantika or greasy. And I can tell you, this is why it's malinamnam or delicious. So the next texture is malambot. Okay, malambot is soft. Okay, so usually malambot is paired with matigas, which is tough. And both of these describing words are used together with carne or meat. Okay. So pwedeng baka, beef, or baboy, pork. So the meat of the beef or the pork, we can say malambot, which is soft, no? So or matigas, which is tough. We also have hinog and hilaw. Okay, now it's a bit difficult to remember because they start with the same syllable. Hinog, which is ripe, and hilaw, which is unripe. Okay, hinog and hilaw are usually used to describe fruit. Okay, so hinog fruit or ripe fruit is usually malambot, or like yellow mango is hinog. Okay? So yellow mango or banana, saging, when it's hinog, they are malambot or soft. No? So when mango is not hinog, it is hilaw. Think about green mango. That is considered malutong or crispy, no? And that's a very good pair with kare-kare. So so hilaw is green mango, unripe. Okay. Hilaw is also banana that is still green in other species or kinds of banana rather. Green banana is also considered hilaw or not yet ripe. Okay. Moving on to hilaw, which is not only the opposite of hinog. Okay. When it comes to food that is cooked, okay, because the examples I gave were fruits. When it comes to food that is cooked, we say luto. Okay. But food that needs to be cooked but is not fully cooked is called hilaw also. So food that is not cooked but needs to be cooked, and food that is not completely cooked, okay, is also called hilaw. Okay, now, what is not fully cooked? And it's very important that this food must be fully cooked. Okay, kanin, rice. Kanin or cooked rice, steamed rice, cooked, steamed rice. So rice when cooked in Filipino is called kanin. Okay. Sometimes if the rice is not yet fully cooked or completely cooked, then we say hilaw. Okay, hilaw ang kanin. Okay, the rice is not fully cooked. So that means we need to make sure that it is fully cooked, because sometimes we get upset stomach if the rice is not fully cooked. So for others who like to eat sashimi, okay, we also have the equivalent in Filipino. The Filipino dish we call kinilaw. Okay, it's hilaw, kinilaw. Okay, we use tuna, okay, and raw tuna, and then we just put vinegar, suka, a lot of sibuyas, onion, and sile, chili. Okay, so in this example, the kinilaw, which is like the sashimi, is hilaw. It is not cooked. The last pair of vocabulary that always also come hand in hand is the temperature of the food. Okay? So you have mainit, which is hot. Okay, or you say warm. Okay, and malamig, which is cold. So what's mainit? Mainit na pagkain, hot food. Of course, you have sinigang, anything that is sabaw or bulalo. Okay? Filipinos always want their rice to be mainit. Mainit na kanin. Okay? Of course, also mainit na sabaw, hot soup. So, generally, Filipinos prefer their food to be mainit for tanghalian, for hapunan, of course, even for almusal or breakfast. What are the malamig or cold food? Well, for dessert, we have halo-halo. We also have sago at gulaman. Okay. We also want our other drinks to be cold. Okay, so malamig na tubig, so cold water. Again, as I mentioned, for all these pairs of vocabulary about the texture or the feel of the food, especially Pinoy food, I encourage you to try a bit, try some, even the chicharon. So if you haven't tasted the chicharon, maybe it's time to look for it and, just grab a bite and figure out if it's really malutong or not. So on that note, let's try to practice our Filipino words for the texture of Filipino food. by becoming more adventurous, or if not adventurous, just try tasting some of the Filipino food so you can also practice your Filipino. Kain tayo! Maraming salamat for watching.